Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. Here, this is the spot where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Welcome home, Brains. There's only one requirement to hang out on the edge, is that you open your big brain and close your small mind. Did you bring your thinking caps? It's time to put them on, because the conversation starts now. Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. How you doing today? You're back at the spot, the place, the location, where the conversations are pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Today we're going to Chicago. Yes, the Windy City. We are going to be visiting with Michele Thill. Michele has a special niche. She is working with women that have just kind of stepped out on faith. They are on their own for the first time, 50 plus. Maybe they've lost a partner. Maybe they've transitioned from a corporate job. Maybe they're an empty nester. But she has a unique message on how you can still thrive and become the best person you are. This is not the end, Brains. This is the second chapter. This is a brand new beginning. And so many individuals, we're going to focus on women right now, get swallowed up in that. And they feel that, my life is over. Oh my goodness, my breast is sagging and I've had a couple teeth removed and my hair is thinning. But honey, they got a fix for that. And that is confidence and self-assurance and a good coach. So we're going to talk to her about that and a whole lot more. How you doing, Michele?
I'm well, April. It's so nice to be part of your podcast. And welcome, April and Brains, to my kitchen, the heart of the home. It's like we're girlfriends sitting at my island having a conversation.
Girl, we forgot to bring the wine. That's for next time. Tell my Brains a little bit about you and how you show up in the world.
So I started my story when the life I knew ended. My ex, we had been together for 29 years, decided to leave me for another woman. And all of a sudden, I'm on my own for the first time in my life. I had never lived alone before. I had never had to support myself financially before. And I was thinking, okay, as shocked as I am, I have a decision to make. I can either let this experience break me or break me open. And I decided to let it break me open.
Mm.
And I moved into a daily mantra of finding peace from broken pieces.
Mm, mm, mm. Girl, let me tell you now, that is a testimony right there. Because let's dial back a little bit. You never lived alone 29 years. My mother, God rest her soul, yesterday was her birthday. Uh,
Oh,
but she 91. She had never lived alone. She had never lived alone. And I don't know if I've never lived alone either. I got married, and then I moved with my husband. I had never lived alone. So, but I like being alone. Okay, I enjoy my own company, but even finding yourself in that. So you had when your husband, I called him a fool. um, but did you have children?
yes. So two children in the early 20s. So all four of us were under the roof still together. And I realized I had played the role of caretaker to all of them. And now life was asking me to learn how to take care of myself.
Did you jump right into the victim modality of, oh my God, woe is me, and I'm not worthy, and what am I going to do? And I'm looking at myself, and nobody's going to want me. Did you go there?
You know, it's interesting because isn't that like the first reactions we have? And I was shocked. And there were those moments. We're going back 10 years now. There were those moments where it was like, oh, woe is me. But I realized, oh, woe is me is not going to help me move forward in life. And I didn't have time to fall apart.
Right.
Right? I didn't have time to curl up in a ball on the floor. I had to like hit the ground running
Mm.
and start figuring things out because now I had to start supporting myself. I had gone back to the workforce, re-entered about 2 years prior. And I was working part-time for a weight loss company as a meeting room leader. So I was able to secure more jobs subbing for leaders, and my territory manager started finding more meetings for me to lead to start raising my income. And I decided to use this as a time of tapping into the journey of self-awareness and rediscovering who am I now meant to be.
Well, that was a perfect landing pad for you because those are individuals that are going through a whole mind shift, weight
Yeah.
shift, self evaluation, worthiness. And so you're in a different kind of space, but
Yeah.
you're in the same space. So you're able to, for the lack of a better term, commiserate. You can get into that place and figure out, oh, okay, wow, I'm not alone. This is they're dealing with weight. I'm dealing with, the breakup of my marriage, but I still need to find me in all of this. So that
Yes.
was a great place for you. So from that,
Yeah.
you started the coaching aspect of it. Tell me a little bit.
Well, yes. You know what I found as I was in the meeting rooms, I started to share. Nobody knew what I was going through because I wasn't there to talk about myself. I was there to be of service. But I started incorporating my journey of what I was learning in the meeting rooms to help people apply it in their lives. And what I discovered is my passion wasn't so much helping them lose weight, but focusing on what they would gain from their weight loss journey, which
Mm-hmm,
was a better quality of life.
mm-hmm.
And from there, I decided I wanted to become a health and wellness coach. So I found a fabulous year-long program through the Functional Medicine Coaching Academy, and I became certified as a functional medicine health coach. And then I took it a level deeper and I became board certified as a health and wellness coach. And then my business, NEWLAND Wellness, was born. I went from being a homemaker to now a business owner.
What? Uh, see
Yes.
that? See that pivotal shift, brains, and all it took was being broke, but not broke in. There's a difference. I always say you're bent, but you're not broke. And so you said, let me dust myself off after you go through the grief. Grieving is a process. It can be of a relationship, of finance, of a loved one, of a pet. Grieving takes its toll, and you have to go through the whole process before you get to the end, which is acceptance. So now you got this bright new shiny object in front of you called functional medicine. Tell my brains, what is functional medicine?
So functional medicine is different from conventional medicine because it works with the root cause of why you have diabetes, why you have high blood pressure, and now I'm working with the root cause with my clients as well of what's actually going on, and also what's the bigger picture and what's going on, and how do we take a holistic approach to healing instead of band-aiding.
So, functional medicine has taken on a new form. It's very popular now, it's very trendy. People are going beyond traditional diagnosis. They're looking at their nutrition, they're looking at their genomics, they're looking at their epigenetics, they're looking at their DNA, and they're trying to say, hey, can I break this cycle of deterioration? Because once you figure what the root cause is, there might be other alternatives. Now, brains, I want to put in a little disclosure. If you are currently under a doctor's care or medical care and you're taking certain treatments, you're seeing a therapist or certain medications, we are not encouraging you to deviate from that, but we are also providing you options and choices to expand your bandwidth, to be able to look at other options, work with people like with Michele to teeter back and forth and see really what works in your best interest. So, okay, so you get to the functional medicine and then
Hmm.
you go a little bit deeper. Now you're board certified.
Yeah.
How did you, and the fact that you worked for this weight loss company before, so now you've got key elements as to what's going on. But how did you springboard into the mindset? Because
You
that's
know,
another shift.
absolutely. But what I discovered, and it happened when I was in the meeting room, that if your head isn't in the game,
Mm,
you're going nowhere. You can't last because you're not connecting with the benefits. And so many of us have that fixed mindset. We live in a world of what is or what was. And
mhm,
I'm asking you to open to the possibilities of what could be
mm.
and what you can create so that it is what will be. Mindset's everything.
Mindset is everything, but in addition to that, consciousness, being aware of the moment and where you are right now. Sometimes I find that people can get fixated on mindset so that they are so ingrained in that particular thing that they can't see the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's other options, and you will have to change or alter that mindset or incorporate other modalities with that. So now
Yeah.
you have the functional medicine, you've
Hmm.
got the mindset mastery, you've
Hmm.
got the coaching.
Hmm.
When this person rises up to greet themselves, this new you, let's start with you. And you looked in the mirror that day and you said, by golly, I got it. How did you feel?
I realized that I was really braver, stronger,
Mm,
wiser than I gave myself credit for. And it felt very freeing
mm,
to know that even though it wasn't my choice to end the marriage, there was a gift in that for me,
mm.
that life was happening for and not to me. And again, in taking the mindset, opening the mind to the bigger picture of this is an opportunity for me to evolve and grow and to start a new chapter. This isn't the ending. It's the beginning now of a new story that we get to create on our own terms.
So you got this great new job, but what else did you discover? Because I tell you, honey, when I turned 50, my libido went, ooh. I became unapologetic. And I looked and I said, some of these things, do I even give a care about anymore? How much do I want to show up for nonsense? How much do I even want to have a conversation about? What
Right.
what are my dreams? What are my goals? What are my aspirations? I went and started going back through journals and said, maybe I really want to paint more or garden more or travel more. This is an opportunity, brains, to reinvent yourself after 50. I was talking to Michele, in the green room and before about pouring some of this information into younger women. And she was saying, well, you know what? I find that my strongest demographic and where I can be the support to a one legged stool is more with women over 50. But I said younger women because this is an opportunity for you to learn from the greats, baby, from the goats, the greatest of all time. Been there, done that, and wear the t shirt. History only repeats itself. So I suggest that if you are a younger woman, that you listen to some of the wisdom, like save you some money. Okay, God blesses a child that's got their own. Know where all the bodies is buried. Check all the accounts to make sure that you know really how to survive. Get you some sort of skill. Become an entrepreneur. Have a little side hustle. Sell cosmetics. Sell cookies. Network. network with other women, go to more mature women's events, because listening is a skill. Hearing is something totally different. But if you actually implement some of these things, you can dodge a bullet. So now you've got these women that are totally in love with you and that are following you and working with you. Um, they're a new person now. How do they continue to stay on that trajectory and keep themselves happy? Because it's ebbs and flows.
Right. And that's why building a community is so important. So I have a community. It's called Newbie. It's about a new way to be. And it's about us continuing on because it is a journey. When you think of rediscovering yourself, for some, that might seem like too much. And it's like we don't need another challenge. We don't need to feel more overwhelmed. So it really is baby steps, practical, simple steps that take you on this ever evolving journey through our lives.
Mm, mm, mm. And it is ever evolving and it is a journey,
Yeah.
until you reach that final destination. And you can always change, you know. Sometimes you have to step backwards before you can springboard forward. What do you say to the woman right now that's kind of stuck? She's been there and she's been kind of chugging along, and she looks at herself in the mirror and she says, "Okay, today's a good day, but," what do you say to her?
Right. I say to her, I hear you,
Mm.
and I'm going to encourage you to start by breathing, by taking some deep breaths, which actually it relaxes the vagus nerve that runs through the body, that fight or flight nerve, so that you're able to tap into more peace. You're able to take more control because things will work out. It might not look like that in the moment, but I can guarantee you, when you look back, you will see that everything is going to be all right.
Did you find that you also had to sort through your circle of influence? I mean, it's not the same group of individuals that you were in alignment with when you were the wife.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It became, finding that new circle of friends so that some I continued on with, but others you kind of felt like that third wheel, right? So it was me reaching out and expanding, networking, like you mentioned, and finding other ways to connect with people now from the place of where I am now, as opposed to where I had been.
And finding you sexy again. Okay, now look, you know what? You're attractive if you're not sexy to nobody but yourself. But to look in there, change your hair color, change your eyewear, change your lipstick. You have to change. You can't be the same old frumpy housewife in the yoga pants and what they call those shoes? Not Birkenstocks. What's the other one? Crocs.
Crocs, yeah.
Okay, that's not gonna get it, because there's a certain feeling that you get when you walk into a room and someone smells your fragrance, or whether they say something or not, they make eye contact with you, or other women in the room notice your gravitas. They notice that. I mean, didn't your friends that you hadn't seen in a long time, after you got yourself all together and you walked in the room, and, "Michele, you look wonderful. You know,
Yeah.
you've changed your hair color. You've done this." You draw attention, and that's bringing your sexy back.
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's feeling good on the inside as well as looking, good, your best on the outside. Bringing your best version of yourself
That's
forward.
right. Because you
Yeah.
never get a second chance to make a first impression, brains.
Yeah.
You
Right?
really don't. And when you have this conversation, you have to be able to speak with authority. You need to speak like an alpha. You can't be, you have to have voice inflection. You sit up straight. You have to have your posture correct. All of this is a part of the change and it will be noticed. And once it's noticed, then it's going to resonate in you and you are just going to thrive. So let's ask you some fun questions. If I came to visit you there in Chicago, where would you take me?
Oh, where would I take you? I think that, you know what? I would take you on a walk of our magnificent city and how beautiful it is and all that we have to offer, all the culture. I love our city.
When I came to Chicago, honey, I did that Navy Pier and shopping. I
Mm.
burned a hole in them credit cards. And the food is wonderful. If you've
Oh,
never been to Chicago, the first thing you got to get is some pizza. You know, like when you go to New York, first thing you got to get is a hot dog. When you go to Chicago, you got to get some pizza because it's some real
mhm.
good stuff.
Yeah.
If you could time travel, if you could go back to the past, if you could linger here in the present or project to the future, where would you land?
Oh, well, I've always been somebody fascinated with the past. So there's a little part of me that would say, I'd like to go back to the, 1950s and see how
Mhm.
that all was. And then there's a part of me that's like, I'm here now. I feel for a reason. What's to come of this time with all the messes we face? Where is the masterpiece in there? I want to be part of rolling up my sleeves and helping to create something awesome.
Exactly, exactly. If you could have a conversation with a 25-year-old Michele Thill, what would you say to her?
Oh, you know what I would say, and I would say this for everyone, really at any age, is embrace the journey of growing older instead of fighting it, because everyone gets to be young, but not everyone will get the chance to grow
That's
older.
right. That's
And
right.
that doesn't mean you have to be and feel old and fall apart. All mindset.
Absolutely. If you were an appliance in that super clean kitchen, what appliance would you be and why?
I would be my handy dandy ninja blender
Ooh.
that's been with me for about 12 years. I use it every day to make my smoothies.
Mm.
And I would be that because that thing is resilient and hardworking and strong and powerful. And who doesn't want to be that, right? Especially in these times and in the circumstances we might find ourselves in.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to be your beautiful stainless steel refrigerator because I don't want to do all that. I just want to chill.
I love that. I love that.
I just want to chill. I don't want to do a whole bunch of nothing. If you were a car, what car would you be?
Oh, what car would I be? I think I would be like some 1950s turquoise blue, Cadillac with the fins or something like that. Bring that top down, let my hair blow, be like that classic. I want to, I guess, stand out, not just fit in, right? So
Absolutely, absolutely.
be
And you are
timeless.
doing that. You are doing that in so many ways. Tell my brains what they have to look forward to you when they start coaching with Michele Thill.
So it is a journey where we dig in with a lot of joy. It isn't just about all the hard work. It's about playing and discovering and learning. So it's a joy-filled journey with other ladies that are there as well, helping ourselves and each other as we go along the way.
So you have groups and individual
I,
sessions as
I
well?
do group facilitation. So
Okay.
yeah.
And that's wonderful because that way, brains, you can find a partner that you can an alignment with. You can find a good friend. You can find a confidant. There's great networking opportunities for your business. So I like that group activity, and each one can teach one.
Yeah.
So there might be a conversation you want to have. You may not want to necessarily have it in the group, but you have other, sister friends that you can talk to about that. And so I think that that's very, very important. Tell my brains how to get in contact with you, any current offerings that you may have, uh, and just what to expect from you looking forward.
So I do have a website, newlandwellness.com, and I am on Facebook under Newland Wellness. I do lives on Tuesdays and Thursdays most weeks. I've been doing that for over a year. There's a lot of content on there and more to come. And I also wanted to offer you brains a free gift, which is an ebook about gratitude. Now, I don't preach gratitude. I didn't even mention the word gratitude, yet I practice it every day. And it's the underlying current of my whole life, especially in any challenging times, finding that silver lining, finding the helpers. So this ebook will explain more about the power of gratitude and also give some tips and ideas as well too. And the link will be there for you to click on it so that you can find out more. How is that problem you're facing really an opportunity for you to grow?
It is fertile ground,
Yeah.
right? And I encourage you that even if you're in a quandary, even if you're thinking about it, even if you're in a difficult situation and you decide to stay in the marriage, I'm not gonna knock you. I'm not gonna judge you, but still have a sense of self of who you are.
Mhm.
We came here individually and we're gonna leave here individually. Know who you are, know your value, know your worth, know that there are options, that there are choices. People change their mind all the time. Men leave, women leave, the children leave, the dog dies. What are you going to do for you? Because you're the only person that's there. They always tell you put your oxygen mask on first. Folks are not going to come and save you. Trust me. You have to save yourself. Self preservation is the law of the land. Well, Michele, you have been such a wealth of inspiration and motivation, and I'm so proud of you. You look wonderful, you
Oh,
look radiant, and not only is your cup full, but you have a reservoir that you're able to pour into others. Brains, please take advantage of it. Go and have the consultation. Go in and look at the ebook. Ebooks are nice, easy, they're friendly, give you something to do while you're sitting there commiserating. But in commiseration comes deliberation. And so you have to decide and make a decision on what you're going to do. Thank you so much for being here on the edge with me, Michele. You are the best. Come back, keep us posted as to what's going on. Young women, pay attention to what older women are doing, more mature, should I say, seasoned women. We don't have a problem being older. We're not old, though. Okay? All right. Thank you so much.
thank you, April. Thanks, brains. Take care.
Talk to you soon. Bye, brains.